Hi there, welcome, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time it is, wherever you are, just thank you so much for watching. So today we are going to be talking about what it's like to be an English major, some of the obvious things and then some of the not so obvious things. If it's a degree path that you have been considering and maybe you had some worries or something that was kind of holding you back, then hopefully this will clear some of that up for you, because if it is a path that you would like to go down, I strongly support it. I am wearing my university t-shirt right now, small offshoot campus of A&M, Texas A&M. It's Texas A&M University, Central Texas. So Warriors, go Warriors. Before I start on this, I want to tell you that if you stick through to the end, I have an unboxing for some candles that I got from a small business down in Austin, Texas, and it's gonna be satisfying. So make sure you stick around to the end. There are no discount codes. This is not, I'm not affiliated with them in any sort of way. They don't know that I'm doing this. They just sent me some candles. They got here really fast and I want to talk about them. So stay to the end if you want to support small businesses. Our topic for today, have my notes. English major, the obvious things and the maybe not so obvious things. I have some topics that I'm going to talk about, and hopefully I don't lag on too long for each one, but let's just see where it takes us. The first obvious thing, there is a lot of reading and writing, but grammar is not really all that important. Now, obviously everything that I'm talking about is based upon my experience. Obviously, I only went to one university. I only know what this one university's deal is, the professors that I've had. So even here, at a different time with different professors, you may have a different experience from me. And I will say that I had one professor who was she was a little bit more strict on grammar, but for the most part, they just want to make sure that you are reading, that you are grasping the concept, and that you can think about it analytically, and that you can take the theories around that literature and expand on them, that you have a new creative sort of way of looking at the text, whatever it is. I actually have one professor who will, she won't count you off for grammar. She'll correct it, but the only time that she counts off for grammar is, I think, run-on sentences and comma splices. I think that's it. And for the most part, that's really how they are. And in university, I have found out that grammar is really just there to help. I mean, this sounds so basic and so easily understood, and like it should go without saying, but grammar is just there to make sure that people can understand what you're saying. So at the end of the day, if your professor understands the point that you're trying to get across, then you're good. In advanced grammar class, grammar was very important, and as a former journalist editor, I am all about the red pen, correcting grammar, making sure that it's as perfect as possible. But it's actually been very freeing not having to worry about that and really just focusing more on trying to get the message across and trying to communicate what I really want to communicate. So some people, they hate grammar Nazis. They think that English majors are grammar Nazis, like, oh, you're an English major, huh, I better not mess up any of my sentences around you, or whatever. I can't even do that. I speak grammatically incorrect all the time, so it's like, really, bro, don't be like that. Okay, so the second thing about being an English major is, obviously, forces you to read books you normally wouldn't, but not so obviously, it forces you to read books that you have already read in a way that you never thought that you could read them. So one of the coolest things about being an English major, and one particular class that I was in, we would read a short story, and then we would have to write on it. We would have to write a paper about it from a socialist perspective, and then we would have to write about it from a deconstructionist perspective, and we'd have to take the same story and we would have to analyze it in a completely different way. And through doing that, you get to experience that story 3 different times as a completely new reader, which to me, because I'm a nerd about these things, sounds very exciting. It shows you that just because you've read a book once, that doesn't mean that you're done with it. It's just like a movie that you watch from your childhood, and you have a certain experience of it as a child, like The Lion King. You know, a lot of us saw that for the first time as kids, and then you look back at it as an adult, maybe you relate to a different character more. Maybe you relate to Scar more than you relate to Simba, who knows. Maybe you really see the importance of Nala, and maybe you see her as the hero over Simba. So it's just fun to look at books the same way that we do with movies and that. So I'll go ahead and cut it off at that one and we'll move on. Right, the third thing, and this isn't, I guess I'll start off with the obvious. You will read poetry, but you do not need to understand poetry. I have the most base level understanding of poetry. I do not like reading poetry unless it's like Shel Silverstein or Dr. Seuss or like the obvious stuff like The Raven. I don't like that super deep, super artistic, like you gotta really dig into it. Even like, I know that I should like Emily Dickinson more than I do, but we read some Emily Dickinson and my classmates were just giving all of these different thoughts and opinions, and they were sounding so smart, and I was like, I did not get that at all. And the other thing too is that like with poetry, no one's really wrong, because for the most part, most of the poets that you read, they're dead, and they didn't talk about what the poem was supposed to be about, and so everyone is just making their best guess. And while yes, there are some ways that academia has said like this is the way that we interpret this, but really no one is wrong when it comes to poetry. So if poetry is one of those things that like really freaks you out and just is intimidating, don't really worry about it. Like, you're going to go over it, but it's, at least at my school, all of my classes that touched on it, it was like this much. My Shakespeare class, we had 2 weeks, I think, maybe not even, yeah, probably just 2 weeks where we were going over Shakespearean poetry, which I think is highly overrated. I don't care for his poetry. Love his plays, do not like his poetry. And I started off the semester saying that to my professor, and I ended the semester saying that to my professor. Oh well. But I still got an A in the class. Just say something. No one is wrong with poetry. All right, the fourth little topic that we have out of 5, we're almost done, is children's literature is not always the easiest class. And I feel like this is obvious with not so obvious together, because obviously it's a junior or senior level class. I think at my university it's a junior level. And I went into children's literature like, oh, we're going to read The Secret Garden. Oh, I'm going to read The Prince and the Pauper. Like, oh, it's going to be all of these classic children's lit. No, we read Shakespeare. So it was actually really cool. We would read a Shakespeare play. I think the first one that we did was, the first one that we read was A Midsummer Night's Dream. And then what we did was we actually looked at children's adaptations of A Midsummer Night's Dream, like throughout history, like back in the 1800s, 1900s, and today, and seeing how they're all different. And then the same thing for Hamlet. So we did end up having to read like the actual adult version and be able to understand that. But honestly, if you didn't even understand that, just go to the children's version, like skip ahead to the next week, read the children's version before you read the original, and maybe you'll understand the original better. I definitely felt as though I understood the originals better having read the children's versions, which may sound weird, but oh well. So it's not always going to be what you think. They may like throw a twist in there. So cool. So I just wanted to put that out there. Children's literature may not be what you think it is. So definitely look up the reading list and the book list, and if you can get a hold of a syllabus, then that might be useful before you sign up, just in case. So the last thing, again, that is obvious and not so obvious is that you can do more than teach English with an English degree. It was really interesting when I went to my husband's family's family reunion, and I told them all that I was going back to college, or going to college, and they were like, oh, what are you getting a degree in? And I'm like, English. And everyone else that I had talked to before that had said, oh, so you're gonna be a teacher. And I'm like, no. But instead, what his family said was, oh, are you going to go to law school? And I was like, that's weird. So it made me start thinking, and I had to ask them about it too. And it makes sense, because you end up learning how to interpret text. You are having to do lots of writing, lots of research. You're having to learn how to format documents, how to properly source things. It's a very intensive degree to go into, and actually quite a few of my classmates are going on to law school after they graduate. So it just kind of opened my mind a little bit more. Like, I knew obviously I could do more than teach, because I am not planning on teaching. Some of the more obvious things that you could do are journalism. You could go into some sort of office administration, and then editorial work, publishing, pretty much anything where they need someone who knows how to do research. You can go into that. It can also be very, very helpful as far as social media goes and entertainment. What I'm personally doing right now, and this is actually more based off of my experience in the Army, but the degree does help a lot, is I'm a media analyst right now. And again, how I apply those things is I'm able to think critically about the stories that are coming in. I'm able to read very quickly through those stories, get the main bullet points. They know that I have good comprehension skills because of the degree. So again, it may not seem as though English degree, media analyst go hand in hand, but through talking about this, I realize that they actually do. So anyways, those are my 5 obvious, that's 10, 5 obvious, not so obvious English major things. Again, I write. I'm really not that good at speaking. Who knows why I decided to start a YouTube channel. And now let's cut to the unboxing. Now what we are going to be doing is something fun. I have an unboxing, and yes, this is already open, but I didn't really go through it. I just got so excited whenever we picked it up that I had to open it up. I haven't smelled anything yet. I got these candles from Herland Home, and I'm looking again at my notes. I want to make sure that I get a ton of details out for y'all, because I have bought from this little small business, and whenever I lived in Central Texas, I would always see them at the different fairs and festivals that I went to there. So I definitely want to continue supporting them, and We have been running out of candles so quickly since we moved, and I needed more, and I think I placed this order on Tuesday and I got it today, and today is Saturday, and I am in Virginia now, so this came very fast. I did not expect for this to come that fast whatsoever. So Herland Home is for the naturalist at heart, and yes, I opened it, but I haven't really gone through it yet, so I wanted to do that here. Lots of packaging. Oh, so yeah, I did see this. They did send a personalized handwritten, come on, focus, handwritten note, which I thought was so sweet. Candace, thank you so much. I hope you love the candles and are doing well. Warm wishes. Oh, so sweet. And then a name under there. I don't know what that name says. Maybe Giselle? I'm not sure. Okay, and then we have these little Herland Home mini stickers, which are super cute. I'll save those. I have stickers from little small business places like this that I get, and I keep them because I want to put them on something, but I don't know what I want to put them on yet. Okay, so vegan ingredients. They make their candles with coconut wax, fine fragrance oils that are phthalate free. I'll spell it at the bottom. I don't know how to pronounce it. Phthalate. I don't know. And then the wicks are made of hemp. The small candles, which are the ones that I got, burn for 30 hours. I actually have that little guy burning up there. Don't know if you can see it, but this is one of their candles, a small candle, and they burn for longer than 30 hours. They are amazing. And these cost $12. If you get the standard size candles, they burn for 60 plus hours, and they're $22. And then they also sell packs of 7 tea lights, and those are $12 as well. So I got 3. One of them was a scent that I had gotten before. Oh no, this isn't that one. But this is one of them. This is called Solar Eclipse. If it'll focus. Maybe it won't. Okay, Solar Eclipse. Let's see what this one smells like. Oh my gosh. It's like a soft, almost floral, which I really like floral scents. Oh, and a little bit citrusy. It smells kind of citrusy. They have like descriptions, because obviously who the f knows what a solar eclipse smells like, but they do have descriptions on the websites. If you want to make sure that their candles hit like your scent profiles, then it'll explain it on there. I don't look. So I got solar eclipse, and then let's see, another one that I got was lunar eclipse, because they match. Like, if you're gonna get solar, you might as well get lunar. Okay, this one is satellite. I already know that this one smells amazing. Oh my gosh. So this one has sort of a muskier, sort of perfumey scent, and I love it. Like, it's a very feminine perfumey scent. It's good, but it's not floral feminine. And like I said, the packaging is just all paper. So they're vegan. They're very eco-friendly. The jars are glass with like these metal-y kind of tops. I actually don't think that they have any plastic. And this one must be lunar eclipse. Oh, so pretty. Ooh, that one. It smells like really earthy, like kind of more herbal. I think I might actually like this better than solar eclipse. It reminds me kind of like those fresh cut grass kind of scents, but it doesn't smell like that. It's just sort of like that. It doesn't explain it on the back. Man, so these are 3.4 ounces. And like I said, they'll burn for about 30 plus hours, and they will burn for at least 30. They're absolutely great. So I am so happy that I got my new candles. Yay! And I will have a link for their website down below. Again, the shipping was very, very fast. They smell so good. You're supporting a small business who really cares about their products and satisfying their customers. So go check them out. Herland Home, link down below. Let me know if you buy. Can't remember if I did an outro for the unboxing portion that I recorded, and this was recorded all out of order. But I hope that you all have a wonderful day. I hope that you are doing well, that you are getting outside but staying safe and aware as you do it. And I just wish you the best of health mentally and physically. If you feel like you're going through a tough time, it's because you are. And it's all right to admit that. And I hope that you find something amazing to read, because right now we need to find a way to get out of these tiny spaces that we are self-quarantining in. And what better way to do that than with a book? So escape your quarantine in your mind with a story. And I hope you have a wonderful day.